We're back for the second half of Facts Over Feelings for your Tuesday night. I'm your man, Grandmaster Jay. And before we get started, we got to take care of some housekeeping. We have to take care of some housekeeping because there are those people out there who just cannot get past, they can't get past their fear. They can't get past the fear that we're going to pay them back for what they've done to us. And even though they can walk around and try to smile like it's okay, and even though they act like they didn't have nothing to do with the sins of the father, that they're afraid. So they will resort to outright lying if they have to try to get their way. What I'm talking about, my people, is it was brought to my attention that some scared white folks have gone to the governor of Georgia to demand that I be arrested and that a warrant be issued because I exercise my constitutional rights. They believe that what I did was so wrong when they do it every day. This is what I mean about racism in your face. It's okay for them to do the things they do and for us to sit back and just be witnesses. But when we do it, oh, it's a federal crime. You must do something. It's their way of saying, nigga, how dare you? That's what they're saying. And the real scary part about it is they don't seem to understand. You keep poking the bear. Eventually the bear will attack you. And now that the bear is in the position to attack you, they're scared. And I know they're scared. So, as I would say to Governor Abbott and all the others who can buy into that bullshit if you want to, I at no time threatened any of you motherfuckers. I told you I'm going to defend my people. You threatened us. Let's not forget how this whole thing got started. You threatened all of us. You said you were going to shoot black people on the 4th of July. You didn't give a specific location. You said all black people. You even had police running around talking about, I can't wait to start killing black folks. So don't play victim to the circumstances you created. We are going to defend ourselves. And I'll say it publicly here. Arresting me or doing anything to me would unleash the war that you don't want. So go ahead and go ahead and roll up in your whiteness and come after me and watch all my brothers and sisters show you that we are not just walking around on parade. This ain't niggas on parade. And you let them white boys pump you up to do something stupid when we didn't break any laws. None whatsoever. If you're going to have the Constitution, either the Constitution going to be for everybody or the Constitution ain't going to be for nobody. And a land without a Constitution is a land at war. And y'all keep letting these white boys, these little scared white boys pump you up because black folks exercise their constitutional rights. And you white folks out there, you better talk to your people. You better talk to them. We're not like they were in the 60s. And I'm coming here in Facts Over Feeling, let you know right off the bat. We're not playing that shit at all. It's a chess game. You make that move, we already got a few other moves in place. And if you think it's crazy now, 2020 should have taught you anything. That this year is unpredictable and nobody knows what's coming around the corner. It's unfolding by the day. It's unfolding by the minute. So play that 1966 shit with us if you want to. You started this. We just stepped up to say, you're going to threaten us? Then it's only intelligent for us to prepare to defend ourselves. Now, y'all going to find out that the world y'all live in is not what you seen. You see, we have friends and then we have enemies. I give praise to the Most High because we have friends and we have enemies. If you go to any of the older books, matter of fact, I think if I go to the book of precepts again, morals and precepts, somewhere around chapter 18, it talks about friends and enemies. This is before any of you all existed. It is before this civilization. They already talked about who our friends are and who our enemies. And it says, and I quote, if you remember, it says, the only real enemy any man has is the man he does not understand. And the only man to really fear is the one who is afraid. So you shouldn't be afraid of me because I'm not afraid. You may not understand me, and that's probably what scares you. You can never be me, so that terrifies you. And you could never beat me. So I will say this publicly. You're not putting me in a cage. Period. And I mean that. And you take that forever for whatever it's worth. I'm not going in no motherfucking cage. Now show up if you want to. And I said that publicly. Make sure you pass that on. It says the man who seeks a friend without faults, one without weakness and failings, will never have a friend. And he who declares his enemy to be wholly evil is a liar. A man may be poor in worldly possessions, but rich in friendship. But true wealth is not the accumulation of lifelong things, but the possession of a firm friendship. The greatness of a man may be assessed according to his friends, but it may be measured even better according to who are his enemies. Listen to what they just said. The greatness of a man is determined according not to his friends, but by who were his enemies. If your enemies are the people around the corner, then you're a pretty important person. But if your enemies are kings, queens, governors, then apparently you had to be a great person to them because they don't fear just anybody. So y'all go keep running to your governors, keep running to your senators, keep running to your leaders and telling them about me and that I am to be feared. Then that must mean that I'm greater than anything you've ever seen. And everything that I represent is greater than anything you ever seen. No weapon formed against us. I heard that somewhere. In the book, it says the nature of a man is such that while it is always tends to resist force and compulsion, it will always yield to gentleness and persuasion. What they're saying is if you come hard, it's not going to go well for you, but you can always sit down and talk to somebody. You can always sit down and say, listen, man, let's have a meeting of the minds. You understand what I'm saying? But if you want to come with the rah-rah, they already tell you that it's not exactly going to work out for none of the parties involved. Understand what I'm saying? It says, yet wounds inflicted at the hands of a friend are more to be desired than the hypocritical embraces of an enemy. Isn't that deep? I'd rather my friend stab me in the back and I know he did it than for somebody who hugs me and tells me I'm all right with you and I love what you're doing and I feel what you're doing. But, and here we are in a time when the masses control the situation. It wasn't the leadership that got in the streets and started rioting behind George Floyd. It wasn't the president and the Congress and all of them that got out and was protesting when they was doing all the world. It was the people who exercised the one power that the one power that y'all got that they afraid of? Y'all got the power to say, we're not obeying y'all no more. Laws only work when you obey them. People only have authority when you give them that authority. People only obey the law when they choose to obey the law. And if everybody decided at the same time that they wasn't going to do this shit no more, what they going to do? I'm just asking the question. Y'all ain't got to listen to me. I'm just telling you, let me get back to my other housekeeping note. Y'all know how we do. This is how, and if you're new, here it comes. You about to find out. I know who keeps up with us and who doesn't. I know who are my true followers and who are not. I know how many of y'all are just here because you're scared. Y'all scared to death. You think I got 80,000 followers of people who are just here for the word of y'all? No, most of y'all are scared because something is happening over here that you're not a part of and you know you're going to get left behind and it probably affects you too, or you got something to do with why it's happening. So that's why you're going to slid your ass up in here. But you should have asked somebody before you came. See, we do mass on, mass off. Mass on means that we done threw our rags up. I told y'all before we went to Georgia, mass up, everybody. Let's get these logos up. And everybody threw up the NFAC logo. You see it everywhere now. But see, I know a lot of y'all like to sneak in. I've done this before. So you have to keep up with the general. So when I say mask off, that means that everyone who is an actual member of NFAC will pull down their profile and we know who everybody is. And all of y'all that are snuck up in here, you little white racists, all you hating ass black folks that are snuck up in here, all y'all who got ulterior motives, all y'all think that y'all, I'm going to tell you the truth. I laughed my ass off. I saw somebody today that thought they was giving an intel report to the internet, and all you base that on is what you see online. You don't know shit about us. That's not intel. That's what it is. Free information, you clowns. Y'all don't know nothing about us, so stop pretending like you do. Stop running around making fake pages with my name on it. I'm not going to ever get a blue check because I'm too real for a blue check. I'm not looking for a blue check. So if you decide to go out and imitate me, you go ahead and do that. They say it's the most sincere form of flattery, but you can't speak for me. You can't talk like me. You can't learn like me. You can't teach like me. You're not connected to the creator like me. You don't have the fire of the ancestors like me. You don't have the insight, nor can you critically think like me. You can't multitask. People know when it's a fake. People know that Jay didn't say that. Jay don't think like that. Second of all, if anything really bothered me, you know I'm the pull-up master. I tell you to come on, see me. Let's talk about it. I don't want none between us but air. I don't need no guns. I don't need none of that. See, this is my weapon right here. All this is my weapon. I'm old school. I'm old school. If I pull a gun on you, I'm going to tell somebody to hold it on you while I whip your ass. And then we'll be boys after that if you that man. But if not, that's the end of it for you. So please, y'all stop all this silliness. Friends and enemies. It's friends and your enemies. You know, the book says that genuine friendship between man and woman is said to be impossible. But this is the talk of weak characters who many burden the world. Oh, I got to stop right there. Listen what they just said. We're talking about friends and enemies, y'all. I've seen a lot of people that said, I saw you got women out there. And if you look at the sisters in the eyes, they're determined. They're focused. Because we are beyond that myth that we can't get along. We're beyond, see, we've achieved that kumbaya, that look, we know where the enemy is. We are united in our goal. So that's why everybody is focused and on code. And we move and we have our being as one. And a lot of y'all have bought into this idea that you can't have a friendship between a man and a woman. They said that's impossible because too many things can happen. But it's written right here in the book of gold, the book of life. It says, but this is the talk of weak characters. And we talked about what a weakling is before. Weak people say that. You see, people always want to accuse you of what they would do if they were in your situation. So it goes on further to say that when the relationship of love between man and woman is hallowed, it should be elevated far above regular relationships. Between the two, there will be a place for the friendship. Man, that is so deep. I got to teach right there. Listen, if you really in your relationship, and I'm going to do some little counseling because I got to give you all this. If you in your relationship now, I can be friends with the sister. And there's a lot of sisters in the NFAC that know we friends. We like brothers and sisters. Ain't nothing sexual there. We backed by blood. We don't even think like that. We focus on the Most High. And we know that we got a common goal. And we know we got a common enemy. We family. All honor to my man, Delta Django. But we family. All family. All of us. But what it's teaching here, it says that when you're in love with each other, truly in love. And if you don't know the 5 types of love, go learn. But when you're truly in love with each other, that when your love will make a space for your friendship. So you have a friendship that is bubble wrapped by love. So it's still friends. I used to always tell people before you date somebody, become their friend. Why? Because if the dating doesn't work out, you can always fall back on your friendship. But a lot of us, we don't do that. We go straight to relationship. Shit don't work out. Now everybody's a bitter enemy. And enemies are not born. Enemies are created. Yes. So that's what they're trying to teach us right now. Friends and enemies. So as a race, who's our friend? Matter of fact, as a race, who loves us enough that they're our friend? Nobody. You have no friends. Stop lying to yourself. And I'm sorry, I got to call bullshit. I'm sorry. This just popped in my head. Thank you, y'all. Y'all know we talked about the situation in Indiana where the boy, we thought that we had the boy on videotape supposedly getting lynched, okay? Y'all already know everything that was wrong with that picture. You out in the middle of the goddamn woods. You the only black dude. You out there with a Karen, and then some drunk rednecks saw you, and they came, and they like, you know, they try, and the whole 9 yards. You shouldn't have been there. Now I see this bullshit ass article that comes out talking about activist talks about how he was nearly lynched. Bruh, if you're an activist, then we need to take your card. Because activists ain't hanging out in the woods as the only black person with a whole bunch of white folks in country ass Indiana. You got to be the most lost. So yes, I said it. Ain't no sympathy for this motherfucker. What you doing out there? Then you got a nerve to call yourself an activist? You're an activist for what? You see what I'm saying? They push stories like that. They baiting y'all so easy with dumb shit, but they're ignoring important things like Breonna Taylor. Don't nobody want to talk about it? Y'all think that y'all just going to be quiet and it's just going to go away, huh? Okay. That's interesting. Why you think they're not talking about Breonna? I'll spend a couple of minutes on Miss Taylor. It's very, very simple. It's nothing that's too complicated. As a matter of fact, I can break it down to you very easily. It's because she's a black woman. Period. It's because she's black, strike one, and she's a woman, strike two. That's why. And that's why they just can't bring their country ass self to do nothing about accidentally killing a black woman. They're not about to put any white man in jail that they felt was doing his job, no matter how fucked up it was, for killing a black woman. All you sisters running around talking about this Me Too bullshit and trying to get on board a platform that was created for white women to try to be equal to their own men, like we oppress y'all. Y'all finding out now they don't give a shit about you. Breonna Taylor should be a wake-up call to everybody. Black woman. That's why. I bet if she was a white woman and some shit like that happened, oh, it'd be visuals and shit. People be on TV making speeches and shit. They be reading shit on the floor of the Kentucky legislature. We'd be having everybody pause for a moment, change your profile to breathe. Not for Breonna Taylor. So y'all want to focus on something, focus on that. That was one of the things we found out coming out the quarantine. Forget all this other stuff that happened. We got to deal with that. Still ain't been dealt with yet. Why? Because sisters, no one is going to respect you, no matter what you do, school, money, or anything, until those other races see the black man respect you. When the black man starts respecting you, then they will respect you. It ain't even about you respecting yourself because you are what you are. But when the brothers start respecting you, then they'll be like, well, we can't mess with them no more because we got to deal with the bros. Y'all saw the video. I said it very clearly. I love my queens for being out there, but I told every brother out there, you should make it your mission to be prepared to take a bullet for one of these sisters. The sisters need to be the last ones shooting. We got to fix this, family. And we got to fix it soon. But why do we do these things? Why is it always easier for us to assume the negative? In the book of Morals and Precepts, there in chapter 19, it talks about the tendency toward evil. It says that everyone to be born is tested in a mortal world, has a tendency toward things which are evil rather than toward things that are good. Pick up on what I told you before. It says everyone that is born to be tested. He just told you what your purpose is. You was put here to be tested. This is all a test. You being tested. I'm being tested. We're all being tested. It's a classroom. It says right here, everyone born to be tested in a mortal world has a tendency toward things which are evil rather than toward things that are good. Notice he said a mortal world, not a spiritual world. They put you here with all these temptations inside of this body so that you can be tempted, so you can be tested. Not the testing of your physical, the testing of your spiritual. What is at the core of your soul? Are you black-hearted? Are you really that black-hearted? Okay, then that's the test score you get. Don't be black-hearted and then talk about salvation in the end. It doesn't work that way. You can't flunk the test all the way to the end. And then let me, hold on. I got to teach again. Here it comes. Oh, we facts over feelings. Okay. Here it comes. You cannot live your life any way you want, disobedient and being black-hearted, and then believe that on your deathbed, because you say some words, that all of a sudden the creator is going to change his mind about what he already put in the book about where the hell you're supposed to end up. It don't work that way. You know who told you that? The Roman Catholics did. You know who told you that? The white people did, who rewrote your religion. Because they know they raising hell all the way out the door. So they done told you, it's okay as long as on your deathbed. If that was the case, we would never have to. Oh God, this so totally destroys church theology. If that was true, then there'd be no need to get saved. If that was true, there'd be no need to sit in the church and have someone continually tell you what to do. You just can live any way you want. Just remember. Okay, let me help y'all out. I went to the Bahamas. I was in the Bahamas. And I went to Nassau. Love the place, love the people, all down in Beantown, had a ball. But one of the things that I noticed when I came into the Bahamas was that when I came in and they checked my passport, they gave me this ticket. And I was like, well, what's the ticket for? And the guy said, make sure you have this ticket when you leave. Because if you don't have this ticket, you can't leave the country. So I'm thinking, okay, I guess it's a passport on top of a passport. Put it in my pocket, no problem. When it was time for me to leave the Bahamas, one of my boys told me, did you have a good time? I said, yeah, you got $15. I'm like, why? He said, because you got to pay the $15 to get out of the country. That told me that no matter how much money I brought with me on the trip, that what I needed to do is remember, as long as I had $15, I could pay my ticket and I could get out. I could act a complete fool and come and be broke. As long as I got my $15, I can get out. And a lot of y'all have been brainwashing to believing that all you have to do is say a few words. Okay. All right. Nope. We're not doing that. Nope. Y'all don't want to listen to me. Then you'll listen to the voice of Yahweh. You don't have to listen to me. You really believe that what they taught you is true. You really believe that what you do makes a difference. The next 5 minutes are not me. The next 5 minutes are called the voice of God, the voice of Yahweh, the voice of Jehovah, the voice of Jehovah Jireh, the voice of Jehovah Nisi. I am the voice of God, who is the God of all men and ruler of their hearts. I have many aspects, and I come differently to all men. I am the God of many faces. To you, my servants, I give these words, that they may be carried to all men. Obey my commands, and I will be your God. I will enlighten and instruct you. I'll guide you along the way. I desire your love and loyalty and your adherence to my plans, but I do not desire your servility. I am not only your God, but your commander as well. And so I expect obedience and discipline, as befits those who prepare for harsh and grim battles, such as those which lie ahead. My desire is for love rather than futile sacrifices or burnt offerings, but it should not be a passive love, but one of expressing service in my cause. A certain knowledge of right and wrong with free choice of foreigner is of greater value in my sight than pointless ritualistic worship. I derive no pleasure from the wasteful shedding of blood from bulls and lambs. I gain nothing from the fat of sheep and the flesh of goats. I am the creator of all. So what can give man that would increase my greatness? Nothing. Listen to what he says. Nothing. Men misled if they believe that their sins can be purged by vain rituals. Only active goodness can obliterate the stains of your sins. Men approach me in fear. They come to me with servility. They beg forgiveness for their sins and request my help in worldly matters. To sing my praises is their excuse for coming into places made sacred unto me, but they come wanting something, be it only reassurance. With this attitude toward me, do they wonder that I remain mute before their faces and their pleas? Why? Why do I not answer them? Why am I silent? Bring me no more vain offerings of flesh and blood, for such wastefulness of life is an offense to the God of life. What benefits do I derive from all your feasts or festivals? Give me dedication and effort. That is all I ask. Above all, be true to yourselves. For I abhor the face of hypocrisy, the face now all too familiar when men approach me. He knows you're hypocrites. Men bring me meat and wine, fine flour and wheaten cakes, thinking I can consume these, or that I have need of such sustenance. I would be far better served were these to be given to the widow and the orphans, to the multitudes, to the poor whom you suffer to exist in your midst. Poverty is man-made, and it is not sufficient for the wealthy to give alms to the poor. Those with power and position, with wealth and plenty, must strike at the roots of poverty. If they fail to do this, then the money they give has no merit in my sight. Your solemn assemblies, your tedious processions, your long faces, and your melancholy expressions bring no gladness to my heart. Your burdensome ceremonies and your futile offerings of life and food benefits me in no way at all. Men themselves may derive benefit from these, but their hypocrisy when they proclaim that they do this in my name is not hidden from me. Can I continue? This is your God speaking to you, telling you that everything you're doing does not move him. Those are things man told you. Those are things man made. So if you truly believe that you can live any way you want, and then on the last day you can lay your ass down and talk about, well, as long as I accept him in my heart, I'm good. Okay, you believe that. It says I'm better served by obedience to my laws and conformity with my plans rather than ritual offerings. I got to stop and unpack that. When he says my plans, the word my is capitalized. In other words, he's stating, I have a grand plan. There's no need for you to think. We've already thought everything out for you. And you motherfuckers want to alter the plan. Y'all done sat there and said, you know what? Forget what he said. We're going to do it this way. We know he put us here this way, in this configuration, but we don't like that. We're going to go on over here. And I came downstairs and caught my microwave trying to be a toaster. My toaster wanted to be a refrigerator, and the refrigerator wanted to drive me to the stove. That was not my plan. It says, worship by men of iniquity is mockery. Real and sincere worship is to obey my laws, to show the responsibilities of men, to steadfastly conform to my plan, and to live, here it comes, to live in neighborly harmony. Notice they said neighborly harmony, not dominating a race harmony, not integrated into your system harmony, not kumbaya, including everybody and their mama, including the ones that's wrong harmony. He's saying live in neighbor. How can you be a neighbor? A neighbor means we are equal. A neighbor means that you got your house, your family, your land, you doing, I got my house, my family, and we getting along. It means that you got a kingdom over there. I got a kingdom over here. And I don't know what's going on in your kingdom. You don't know what's going on in my kingdom, but we know that we ain't got no beef with each other. So let there be peace between us until such a time. If we build a peaceful black nation that is focused on elevating just us, we ain't got time for war. We ain't got time for conquest. We ain't got time for the fuckery that's going on right now. Whatever you do or give in my name, and whatever sufferings descend upon you, suffer them for me. Then you will avoid the stigma of false pride, and all given and suffered will be without any taint of self-interest. Notice what he said. You see, a lot of people, when he dumps something on you, and you think you survived. You want to, you want to get puffed up. Like, look what I did. I survived. I'm a survivor. I hear that all the time. I'm a survivor. You haven't survived anything until you graduate from this life. You were tested, but the test is not over. So all y'all who like to get pumped up because you passed a test, but you haven't graduated the course. Oh, let me say it again. You just passed the test in the class. You ain't graduated. You ain't graduated yet. So therefore, it says, my creation arose before me as light does before a flame or heat before fire. It came and still comes unto being because I exist. It is because I am creation. Oh God, y'all didn't get that. I got to go back. Oh, so listen. What he's saying is very, very, very easy to understand. That he made you for a certain reason. This is a testing ground to refine your soul so that when you graduate, he has a purified soul. It's the same thing they used to do when they enslaved us. They didn't bring you straight to America. They took you to the Caribbean first and they broke you and they conditioned you. And whoever was broke the best got to come to America. Well, it's the same principle. Before you can move to the next existence, before you can elevate to any one of the 10 heavens, even though he sits on 7 heaven, before you can elevate or escalate yourself to those positions, you have to first graduate. And a lot of y'all are passing tests, but you're still not graduating from the course. So you have to do it all over again because your soul can't be destroyed either. That's why they know when they pulling the trigger on you, all they're doing is kicking you out the game. Okay. They won't want you in this particular game. I need y'all to understand that. I am the source of all things, supporting but not being supported by them. That's deep. I make everything. And I support it, but y'all don't support me. You understand what I'm saying? I bring that to your understanding. So when I talk about why we do some of the things we do, why we're so evil, why it's because now, first of all, we can't help it. That's the first reason. The second reason is because this is the beginning of your test. If you showed up here already knowing how to be good and pure and this, that, and the third, then there'd be no need for the test. You understand what I'm saying? This is the testing ground, and all the toys are here to make you act up. Whatever your weakness is, we're going to find out. They done sat down and came up with a list of these are the things, like a checklist. And they done sent you in here and you sitting around like, ooh, I can go do that. Ooh, I can go do that. Oh, not realizing you falling for every temptation there is. Every landmine they done placed out, you stomping on them and blowing your goddamn self up. Facts over feelings. Hope I haven't lost y'all because we're going to be here for just a few more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and give the order tonight because it's time for us to find out who is in the house again, because I know we got a lot of spies in the house. If you are flying the NFAC logo, see, y'all should be good at this by now. This is about following simple instructions. Here we go again. The formation was an exercise in following simple instructions. You would be surprised that 98% of the people out there did just that, but you always got that 2% that they just don't get it. So this is how we separate people. So I'm ordering tonight that if you are flying the NFAC logo and you are truly one of the chosen, the elect or children of Yah, that you drop the logo now. It is time for us to take them down. We only put them back up for the duration of the formation. Oh, don't worry. There'll be a reason to bring it back up again. But now it's time to take the mask off and see who done snuck up in here. Yeah, we're going to find out who's up in here today. We're going to find out what you're doing in here because we come here so that we can learn a couple things, facts over feelings like we always do. And what I do is I'm never stagnant. I'm always going in the opposite direction. So if I see all these beautiful NFAC logos, I know all y'all feeling it right now. And I know that y'all feeling good and don't want to take them down. But when you got 80,000 new people and every now and then somebody says something, it's time to show who we really are. So I'm going to kindly ask that until you get the next announcement of what we're doing with the NFAC, that all NFAC members and NFAC members only drop your logo. If you have taken the oath that you took, drop the logo. If I start seeing people with the logo, now I'm going to know one of two things. You're not following and sitting faithfully here in the class with us because you weren't there when the announcement was made, or you're a fake. And we're going to know it because you think just because you hide behind an NFAC logo that everybody's going to just be cool with you. All of my followers, all of the members of the NFAC drop the logos as soon as this if this live is over. We are going back to our Bruce Wayne mode so we can see who everyone is. Do not get rid of your logo because you are going to need it again very soon. I need you to drop the logo. Additionally, if you are a member of the NFAC, your profile is now mandatory that it be private. If it's a business, then just drop the logo. Otherwise, all profiles are now private. Make your profile private so all of these people running around claiming to be us, we can see who's who. Drop the logo. No more NFAC logos. If I see them, I know that you're somebody who you just copping the field. You know, you trying to tiptoe into the kingdom because you can't follow simple instructions. Y'all follow instructions when somebody who don't even come on the front line told you not to spend. Y'all follow instructions when somebody that we ain't never seen on the front lines told you to turn your logo black. Y'all did that, but now drop your logos. Let's get rid of the NFAC. Let's see who is up in the house. Yes, I see the numbers going down. They jumping ship left and right because they know we coming. We done turned on the light. The roaches are running. Look at the numbers going down. As soon as I said drop the logo, they start running because they didn't realize that Yah will turn around and change his mind on you. You thought the storm was going that way and you thought you were safe, but lo and behold, he swung back around and he coming. Look at the numbers going down. People running left and right. Get the hell up out of here. You shouldn't have been up in here to start with. You knew that when you came up in here, you wasn't one of the elect. You knew when you tiptoed your ass up in here, you wasn't one of the child of the king. You knew when you slid your Edomite ass up in here that you thought you could hide behind the mask. Well, you don't know how we get down. NFAC, drop your logos right now so we can see who the hell is up in here with us because we family and you're not. Okay? You are not one of the children. You are not one of the righteous. You are not one of the elect. You are not one of the learned. You don't walk in light. You are a fake and an imposter, and we expose you right now. Drop the logo. Now, I'm not going to be like I did last time. If I see your ass with the logo, I don't want none of my members running to tell you, Jay said drop the logo. Don't say nothing. We just straight blocking you and excise you from the group. And if you were part of the original group that started this whole movement, and you know how long we've been doing this, you're really going to blow my damn mind when I be like, so who are you? Because you've been with me for a while. Logos down. Pass the word. Logos down. I want to see exactly who's sitting in my presence. Y'all ain't see that one coming. You wasn't paying attention. You got to move when we move. No more logos. Not until we have to throw them up again. When you see these logos go up, something's going down. Y'all should figure it out. You want to keep up with what we're doing? When the logos go up, we about to do something. We've done something. We've walked into the history books. I don't care whether the white man want to tell it like he can. Look, y'all, it's not for him. This is something that you tell your children. This is something that you record in the black history books. But since black media is so quiet and all the so-called teachers won't even say the shit out their mouth, that should tell you. You should really question people now that have been telling you stuff, but never take no action. And now they're not even speaking about something that happened that was so significant that it's something that hasn't even happened since the Panthers happened. And they're not talking about it. Now you want to question who's getting paid. Some people are paid just to keep you right where you at so you don't move ahead. They sound good. They write good books. They do good documentaries. They always point out, what they going to do. But now there's some shit that really popped off. They ain't saying nothing. Matter of fact, they can't even bring they can't fix their face to say nothing. But you think for 2 seconds, you sitting here telling everybody you down with NFAC. You down with us. We don't need you to be down with us. We need you to be down there with us. There's a difference. So don't come with all of that. So I don't want to hear. That's why I don't want to hear from nobody right now. Because as far as I'm concerned, until I see you on the front lines with us, you just been talking. And I know y'all seeing that. People are quiet right now. They was quiet already. They was quiet about Ahmaud Arbery. They was quiet behind George Floyd. They was quiet. Now they quiet because in the face of the formation. No, we not taking no excess weight with us. I'm going to say it to y'all one more time. Logos down, please. Please, logos down. There's no need for us to have the logos up right now. We have already done what we've done. And now the members of the family, and we know who you are. We have worked hard to build something we can be proud of. We have worked hard to give our people something to cling to make you feel good to be black. You felt good to be black today, and it wasn't based on some white man's team. You felt good to be black today, and it wasn't based on some TV show. You felt good to be black, and it wasn't based on somebody else telling you that you could feel good. Don't y'all understand when they tell you it's Black History Month, that y'all dance like a bunch of puppets? No, declare your own Black History Month. Declare your own Black History Year. Matter of fact, we should declare the year of Black history. And every day it should be something that happened before we were slaves. Every day we should be celebrating something. Black folks, white folks be like, what y'all celebrating today? Well, today we're lifting up Emotep. You know who Emotep was? He was the first black multi-genius. You know what I'm saying? The one y'all turned into a goddamn villain in the movie. But I digress. Logos down, people. Profiles on private. And I'm going to share this with you. And this is another housekeeping note. I know a lot of you have come from YouTube to come down to Instagram because this is the only way that you could find me. So you didn't put a whole lot of work into your profile. Then you try to follow me, and I have an entire team of folks that do nothing but get rid of fake accounts and block fake people. If your account looks fake, you're going to get blocked. Don't just come down here to listen to me. You got to go around, do something. Post pictures of your family, post pictures of yourself, your dog, something. Look like a person, put a picture up, do something. Don't just, I want to hear the word so badly that you don't look like you came to hear the word. Join it, get with the program. And for y'all who heard earlier, I'm about to get up out of this. I've given them enough. And don't worry, every one of my lives have been captured and recorded, and they will all be eventually presented on my YouTube channel. A big shout out to Fly on the Wall Media for also being an alternate site if you don't catch me. But if you want to see the final versions, you'll find those on my site. My YouTube channel address is in my bio here on Instagram. If you are interested in becoming a member of the NFAC, I know this is the announcement everybody's been waiting on. If you are interested in becoming a member, let me be frank with you. Just because you want to become a member doesn't mean you can. Everybody can't join the army, but yet you can help out in other ways. But if you want to become a member and you want to submit yourself to our vetting process, begin by sending your email and contact information to info@blacknfac.com. No, you can hang it up, white folks. You can't hack your way in, and you can't just get in. The people tell me, well, the screen is locked. It ain't locked to those people that know how to get in. Please send your email to blackinfact.com to start the process. Do understand that there is a background check. Do understand that we will verify your ability to possess a weapon. If you have felonies and your rights can be restored, we'll work along with you. But if you got some crazy ass story that ain't never been able to get fixed for the last 50 years, don't come to us like we can suddenly fix what can't be unfixed. Some stuff is just too far gone, and it requires a pardon from the governor. And as soon as he sees your black ass, he's not going to do it, no matter what we do. So if you have a question, true, let's go ahead and do that. One more thing. If you've sent a DM to me, I have over 10,000 messages in my DM from people famous, small, everybody's in my DM. So I cannot get to every message. We are trying, but don't think I'm ignoring you. There are just so many people talking right now, which is a symptom of how hurt we are as a people. And I can understand that, and I can appreciate that. And some of you all know that if your situation is that urgent, that I will call you and we will talk and we will try to resolve your situation. Last thing I want to say before I get out of my administrative notes is that I saw this a lot, and it was rather disheartening to me. I'm not going to give out names because I respect people's privacy, but I find it interesting how many families told family members that if you go and stand in that formation, don't you come back. That if you go down there, we don't want to have nothing to do with you. This is family members that told people, and those people looked at them and said, all this time I've been living with you, I thought I knew you. Guess what? I'm going. I don't give a damn what you say. You stay up here being scared in the house. This is sad when you got people who showed up and said, I'm here, but I have nowhere to go back to. Oh, you got somewhere to go back to. We your family. You got somewhere. Matter of fact, you going home and we going with you. That's sad when family members who are so chicken shit. And then when you come home, they see what you actually did. And now all of a sudden it's a whole different tune. Oh, I wish I could have been there. I know a lot of y'all had legitimate reasons for not being there. And no one is knocking you for that. I understand that. We know a lot of y'all had children. I told you don't bring children. But I'm talking to the able-bodied ones, the ones that talked all real loud and tough. You know, the ones that went through the whole process of asking what's the uniform and what's the, what weapons can we bring and yada, yada, yada. I wondered about those people. They didn't show up. But that's okay, because you'll get your chance again. And maybe this time we'll get it right. There are 45 million of us in the United States. All I'm trying to get is 1 million. Did you hear what I just said? There's 45 million of us. All I'm trying to get is 1 million. You see, in 1925, 52,000 Klan members marched down the avenue in D.C. 52,000. Like, where did they all go? That's another discussion for another time. But all I'm looking for is 1 million. Now, if I can get 1 million armed, law-abiding, legally carrying black people in one place, I don't ever again want to hear y'all say y'all afraid of nothing, because your army is right there. But we'll deal with that at another time. Remember, if you see someone with their logos up, we logos down right now. And in case y'all hadn't heard, I'm going to make the announcement again. We are creating BlackTube. Yes, BlackTube is the black equivalent of YouTube, a place where we can go and do our thing and do us and not have nobody censoring us, nobody putting us in jail, nobody doing nothing, with standards in place. Not another place to be free for all. So you can leave all that madness over here. But I'm going to leave here and I'm going to be going to BlackTube. And I'm pretty sure if you still want your facts over feelings, if you want your morning mental, you will follow me. But a lot of y'all won't, because you will never hear for the real reason. It'll just be, okay, he gone, I move on to somebody else. Then I wish you well. I told y'all this last night. I always wondered, where did the 144,000 come from? Why was the number so low? I never could understand that. As a matter of fact, I used to, hold on a second. Let me see this a minute. All right, that'll work. I used to always wonder when you talk about the 144,000, how come the number was so low when there are millions of us? Then when I went down to visit the Georgia Guidestones, I then was like, why is the population only 500 million? What are they going to do with the rest of the people? I never understood that until I started watching you all. And I began to realize the same thing I said about the quarantine. A lot of you are going to die because of your own stupidity. You're not going to die because of anything that we did to you. We're going to die because of your own stupidity. We're in the middle of what they call the pandemic, right? How many times did I tell you that in 1918, when they had the pandemic, that a lot of people, well, they didn't take it seriously. So what ended up happening was they ended up having to have a second wave and a third wave, and everybody got sick all over again. And it was worse than it was before. And now they're trying to tell y'all that that's what's happening again. Matter of fact, they've canceled Black Friday. Ain't that something? Yeah. But when we started talking about the 144,000, well, someone asked me about that. They said, well, this 144,000, Jay, how do we get there? Okay. Well, I hate to shatter this for some people. This is really going to hurt you. But somewhere around the 33rd year after they crucified Yeshua, it was a group that came up, and they were about 144,000. This was from the Pentecost. They believe that they're going to be resurrected in heaven as immortal beings, and they're going to spend eternity with God in Christ. And they believe that these people are anointed. That's who the 144,000 is supposed to be. Somehow that has translated over that the 144,000 is just symbolic. That there's no such thing that if you're good enough that you might end up in the 144,000. Is it symbolic or is it literal? And who's included in it? So there's two ways. There's what we call, and my tribe folks need to listen up. You have what's called the 144,000 that are the sealed Jews. And you can believe that number in scripture is a definite count, and we still have the hope of attaining heaven. But the futuristic count refers to the theory that 144,000 are sealed Jews protected from the wrath of the Antichrist. I'm about to blow somebody's mind, and then I'm going to leave, and a lot of y'all going to be mad, and you're going to run and you're going to jump in your preacher's face, and a lot of y'all going to go read the Bible when I'm the Biblios, the Holy Biblios, after I say this. But I told you once before, don't come in here unless you're ready to be brainwashed, scrubbed out of the slave master's religion. This is, again, a major brick I'm about to take out of your theology. You understand that the wrath of the Antichrist, they call him the Antichrist. Well, let me explain something to you. To be Antichrist is exactly what you're supposed to be if you're a child of Yah, because Christ is not mentioned by Yah. Yeshua is mentioned by Yah. Christ came from the Roman Catholics. So whoever comes to abolish the lie, whoever comes to remove Christ from that spot and put Yeshua in his rightful spot is the Antichrist. So the Antichrist is only going to be an enemy to those who have perverted the word of Yahweh, which means that any of us that come along that tell you you should not be believing in Jesus Christ, that is not what was written. It says Yeshua and the elect and the chosen one. For that matter, I'm the Antichrist. This group of people will evangelize the world during this period, leading the salvation of millions. And that's what they talk about in Revelation 7:9, the Antichrist. Y'all keep thinking that the Antichrist, they done got y'all brainwashed with the Antichrist is coming and he's going to destroy the world and get us in World War III. Does that even make sense to you? That doesn't even go along with the theme of the final episodes of the scriptures. Now, we got some problems with this theory, since I've already lifted that one up. You have to realize that when they wrote this at the time, the 144,000, including all the Jews converted to Christianity, 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes. They're talking about us. 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes. I got to teach again. When we say the 12 tribes, we're not talking about a bunch of people sitting around a fire. Take the word tribe out, put in the word nation, 12 nations. We were 12 nations of people. And of those 12 nations, 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes. But that's if you go along with that argument. It's not supposed to be that just the 12 was converted, but they come out of the 12 nations. Well, if everybody's converted, then doesn't that add up to the 144,000? Am I teaching anybody anything in here? Has anybody catching on just how much of a brainwash you under? Y'all running around thinking that the Antichrist is some evil guy that's going to come out of nowhere and ooh, no. Flip it over. Y'all keep asking, when are they going to come? How are they going to come? But y'all don't seem to get it. You got to realize that the 144,000 and the great multitude are not two different peoples, but two different ways of describing the same people. From one vantage point, you got the purified bride that's numbered. And from another, she's innumerable. That's a great multitude that no one can count. It's not 144,000 literally. I'm trying to teach a little bit, just a little bit. The figurative use of the whole number 1,000 is common in the Old Testament. God increased the number of the Israelites 1,000 times. That's in Deuteronomy 1:11. God keeps his covenant to 1,000 generations. Deuteronomy 7:9 said God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Psalm 50:10. Other examples that you can find it in Isaiah and 60:22. Psalm 80. Look, y'all go look at this stuff up yourself. I'm teaching you something tonight that nobody else is going to tell you. But you know what? That's the way this goes. As we come to the end of another Facts Over Feelings. Yeah, they're coming to get me, y'all, because they thought that I was just a warrior. And now they're finding out, oh, he's a teacher too. And a lot of y'all, I know y'all having a hard time because some of y'all came just so you could learn about the Most High, so you could find a way to get yourself purified. And then to see your teacher get up and turn into Shaka Zulu got your mind blown, but you don't understand. We don't serve a weak God. So why are you weak? You quick to claim out, oh, praises be to the Most High. Okay, well, if that's the case, why are you acting like you don't serve somebody like that? Because last time I checked, in the words of the great Nipsey, That's not how he said we supposed to act. Y'all know I love you, right? You got to hear that sometimes. And it's true. I don't just say it. I tell you because it is true. It is true. And at the end of the day, no matter how this all turns out, I want you all to remember the things that I've taught you. I want you to realize that I'm not afraid to die. I'm afraid of you all not learning anything from my dying. Okay? Just like I told my folks down in Georgia, if something happens, I expect one of you all to pick up the torch and keep going. Do not let them shut us down for another 60 some odd years, because we're not going to keep coming back to tell y'all this. We've come back again to let you know we have awakened your ancestral fire all around the world. And I will not be coming before you too many more times longer to tell you the same thing. Unify. Love each other. It's the same message. Ain't nothing new. How many times we got to come back and tell you the same thing? Wake up. Stop hating on each other. Stop hating on me, because I ain't did nothing to you yet. So in the meantime and in between time, as I bid you all of shalom for this evening, I hope to see you all soon. There will be no morning mental tomorrow, nor will there be a facts over feelings tomorrow. I have some rather significant engagements. I was reached out to by a few of these entities in the media that I told you I won't engage in, but I do have some interviews overseas that I do want our brothers and sisters in the UK, our brothers and sisters in Africa, our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean to get the word just from me, so we can dispel some of the lies that are being told by scared white folks who just can't get over seeing black folks with guns. That's really what it boils down to. They hate you. And even they hate you for defending yourself. You're supposed to lay down and take it. Well, we ain't laying down. We damn sure ain't taking it. Y'all want it? Bring it. In the meantime, I wish you all a pleasant evening. This is Facts Over Feelings for your Tuesday night. And today is the Lord's number, 77. And 2020 is hindsight vision. If you need any further assistance, please don't hesitate to shoot an email to info@blacknfac.com. If you need to drop something to me immediately, drop it in my inbox right here at Instagram for the time being while I'm still here. Hope to see you all very soon. And remember, you can lead by example or you can lead by a sample. I choose to lead by example. Follow me and do what I do. Don't just let me be the only one. You do the same thing, even if it's just making the difference in your town. A lot of you all are asking for training. A lot of you all are asking us to come to your cities and get the young men and the young women organized. A lot of you all are trying to find ways that you can get your own organization started, and we sanction it. Then yes, we are in the process of reaching out to folks in certain cities to say, yes, we want to come down and organize you too. That's cool. Make sure you get at us about that. And in the meantime and in between time, I hope to see you again right back here on the most interrupted, hated, discriminated against show on Instagram. Facts Over Feelings. I'm Grandmaster Jay. I don't know the reason why all this is happening, but I do know one thing. If it didn't happen, then something is really wrong with this picture. And on that note, Uhuru. Shalom.